Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now I'm taking a look at Sunset Riders for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Brought out by Konami in 1993, it's a coin-op conversion of the arcade game of the same name. In this, you and an optional second player take control of one of four cowboys, and you got to go through several waves of enemies and then take down the boss who appears on the wanted poster before each level. Now, it's worth pointing out that the version that came out for the Mega Drive is markedly different to this, but this one's more like the arcade version, although it's not arcade perfect for reasons I'll go into a bit later. So we've just seen the intro, now let's get this game going. So you've got 3 different difficulty settings. I'll keep it on normal. You can give yourself up to 5 lives. Well, I know it says 4 there, but I believe this one where naught counts as your last life, and you can set the number of continues to a maximum of 4, and you can shoot, jump, and slide. You can choose the buttons for that. Steve and Billy armed with 6 shooters, whereas Bob and Cormano armed with shotguns. I'll be Billy. So that's the boss we have to take out at the end of this level, Simon Greenwell, and we get $10,000, which are essentially our points at the end of the level. Well, they start off with just 1 gun to start with. You can go in a lot of the open doors like this. That's the power up there. The silver star with 2 guns on it gives you a second gun, and that one gives you that yellow one will give you more powered up bullet, and you can slide like that. So that's quite handy because while you're sliding, you're invulnerable to bullet shots. But bear in mind, you won't be. Yeah, that was that dynamite stick exploding. So, waiting for all these to pass by. If you leave Billy idle for a while, he blows his guns off like that. All of the characters have their own idle animations, and that one just happens to be Billy's. I mean, you can pick up the dynamite sticks like that. Now, in the original arcade version, something a bit different happened to that bridge there. That's not in this version. As I said, this is not an arcade perfect conversion. Anyone who says it is deluding themselves. And they also removed all of the female enemies because of Nintendo of America's policies at the time. This time we haven't got anywhere we can stand on in a safe place, so we have to just run over the top of these. Now, in the original arcade, it actually said what to do about running to avoid being killed. It doesn't, obviously, as you can see, it doesn't say that in this. So here we are at the boss's hideout. Pretty nice speech samples, although a little bit muffled in terms of quality. But You have to watch out for these barrels. Once you've hit them enough times, they'll drop and they'll kill you if they land on you. Oh damn! I thought I was going to just miss me. Right, get that out of the way. Oh, you sod. It's not an easy game, even on the lower difficulty settings. It's still quite challenging. You've got to get used to the slide. It's your best chance of avoiding taking too many hits. Right, that's him defeated.
Marry me with my money.
If there were two players, then the one that did the most damage to the boss would get would get the lion's share of the reward money. Hawkeye Hank Hatfield. Now we're on horseback. One thing you can't do in this, you could in the original arcade, is actually lean against your horse to make it easier to avoid to avoid bullets and the like. So that is a bit of a shame because it does make the game unnecessarily hard. And I've just lost all my lives there. So continue. Now I'm going to pick a different character. I'll pick Bob, so I pick someone who's not armed with pistols. So you'll see what kind of difference having his choice of weapon has. Nice animation on the horse while it's running. Not quite so hot for when it rears up at the beginning of the. Oh God. Oh. So it would really help if they'd kept in the bit of being able to duck against. Oh, I didn't get a chance to react to that bullet in time. You can also only fire a couple of shots at a time with this particular gun. Nice parallax scrolling in the background, you can see. Yeah. Some pretty nice music in this game as well, which I also remember from the arcade version, which I finally had the chance to play back in 2017 when I believe I saw it at the arcade club in Bury in the Manchester area. If you haven't been to Arcade Club, it's great. I actually went on Friday, adults only on Friday, and £10 gives you access to all the arcade machines. And I seem to recall that Sunset Riders was just one of several that were there, and all set to free play. It's not a perfect game, but it's still pretty good. I mean, it's just a shame you can't do some of the things in like being able to lean against the horse to make it a bit easier to dodge bullets, because it can get a bit tricky when you're on horseback. Dodging bullets is a lot harder because you can't slide while you're on the horse. And now here's Hawkeye Hank Hatfield. Change of music, and there he is. And as you can see, he's flanked by some of his minions, so you've got to worry about them as well as him. for this time. Like Billy, he's armed with pistol. Well, a pistol to start with, but can pick up a power-up to give him a second one later. But as you saw, if you lose a life, you lose the gun power-ups you had and go back to one gun if you had a second one. See, I had no way of getting out of that. Yes, yeah, see, Billy and Steve can fire more bullets at once than Cormano and what was his name? The guy I picked from my previous credit. I can't remember his name. I've forgotten it already. Oh dear. And the bullets, as quite often the case, the bullets always go where you were at the time of the enemy firing them. Although quite why that particular one started edging over to the left, I don't know. But unless it's to make it realistic, because the train's going forward. But mind if we're realistic, the bullets would be going a lot faster than they actually do in this game. And obviously, they wouldn't be going as slow as that one you just saw go off the right of the screen in real life. They'd be absolutely herring it through the air. There is another horseback level later on in the game. Other things that are different about this version compared to the arcade version is that other aspects of Nintendo of America's censorship policies at the time came into effect. So if you originally saw a person drinking alcohol, they will no longer be doing that. Sometimes when your characters went into a door, they'd be drinking some kind of alcohol, and that's all been removed from this version. Oh, damn it. See, as I said, even though you can slide, and the actual slide itself makes you invulnerable to bullet fire, you still have to be worried about what position you're going to be in when you actually come out of the slide. None of his minions, now it's just him and me. Right. It doesn't matter if you touch him, he just mustn't shoot you with his bullets. It's a lot harder with just one gun, though. Oh, you idiot! Right, got him. Yep, I sure did. And then I get to that reward money, which, as I said, it equates to score. Now, the bonus stage, you just have to shoot as many of the people on the screen as possible. You actually have to press the direction. You have to actually press the direction and your fire button in order to do it. So here I'm pressing down and left, and as soon as that guy appears, left as well. You had to do the same thing in the original arcade version, from what I remember from when I played it as well. Another thing that was taken out of this SNES version is that anyone who was originally seen smoking in the arcade version has their cigarettes or cigars removed. Nintendo of America didn't allow the glamorizing of either booze drinking or smoking, so any smoking related references and use were completely removed. Yeah, I missed 3 of them. There are 50 of those meant to hit, and you do get a bonus if you manage to hit all 50. It is possible, but it is tricky. Dark Horse, 30 grand. Otherwise, it says dead or alive. Where you don't have any choice but for them to be dead. Yeah, sometimes when your character came out of those, instead of doing celebrity pose like that, it would have been seen either with a scantily clad prostitute or drinking drinking a bottle of booze of some description. Oh dear, that's going to be a challenge. As again, another cool piece of music. Those big explosions are really blocky though. I just picked up an extra life there. Yeah, so if you see the prostitutes, like I mentioned earlier, they're just turned into regular women and more modestly dressed. And in the original arcade, those guys in the barrels used to split open. Here they just die and the barrels remain intact. That could have just been a memory limitation. I doubt very much that was a censorship issue. And in the case of Steve, he twirls his guns as his idle animation. And his Dark Horse. You have to go for him, not his horse. Shooting his horse won't do anything. Oh, dash. Lost my power-ups and use extra gun now. Well, I think I'm going to end the review there. You've seen quite a fair bit of what the game has to offer. So that's Sunset Riders for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Fairly enjoyable, if tough, Western set shooter. So graphics are really nice and colourful and lots of detail and so forth, and nice parallax scrolling in the background, some great animation, particularly on the running of those horses. And the idle, the things that your characters do when you leave them idle for a bit, also a nice touch. So I will also point out some bits later on that were in the arcade version are missing. and they're also a certain type of enemy that got replaced with regular cowboys because, again, that was censorship due to Nintendo of America's policies regarding violence against ethnic minorities at the time. The sound is really good. You got some nice music, which I also noticed when I played the arcade version a few years ago. It was also present in that, and the sound effects are really good as well. Although the speech is a little bit on the muffled side, but then I seem to recall it wasn't exactly crystal clear in the original arcade version. Gameplay. Well, as I said, some aspects of gameplay are missing, like being able to lean against your horse to make it easier to dodge bullets. And generally, this game is quite a bit harder than its arcade counterpart, I find. I mean, even on that normal mode, it's not exactly a walk in the park, and it can be a little bit frustrating at times because of that. But other than that, I can't really complain about this port of Sunset Riders. I mean, the censorship and removal of certain whole level sections later on in the game is a bit of a shame. But it is also entirely possible that space restrictions could have led to some of the omissions of certain parts of later levels. But I'll happily give Sunset Riders for the Super Nintendo 8 out of 10. It's just a shame that it's a little bit frustrating and difficult, and I know that some bits from the original arcade version are missing from this version. But it's still a solid game, and still worth a shoot or two. Hope you enjoyed that review. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.